You're watching Auto Marketing Now with Brian Pasch.
Welcome to Auto Marketing Now. On today's show, we're going to be talking about cross-sell or pump-in, pump-out data and new tools to give you more near-time or real-time insights on what's happening in your local market. Of course, we're going to have our popular email grab bag, so what are we waiting for? Let's get started with today's show. On today's show, I want to take a look at some new innovations regarding cross-sell or pump-in, pump-out data that dealers typically had access to 30, 60, or even 90 days later. And I want to talk about how these new tools and technology gives dealers more granular and effective tools to change the outcomes during their current sales month. So let's take a look at innovations in cross-sell reporting. Dealers have seen reports that show how many vehicles were sold per zip code, or how many vehicles the dealer sold in their PMA, and how many sales came from a dealer outside their PMA. And that's where this pump-in, pump-out report concept came. And then, of course, people who don't call it a pump-in, pump-out report, they call it a cross-sell report. How well you're selling in your own market versus selling into other markets. The funny thing is this data, even though it's been used and referred to and dealers like seeing these reports, by the time the dealer gets the data, well, it's pretty stale. That's right. It's not uncommon that cross-sell data or pump-in, pump-out reports are 30, 60, even at times 90 days old. And who wants that data? I mean, what could you do if it's March and you're getting data from December? What are you going to do in March based on data from December? Now, I've always scratched my head and said, well, why would in 2018 dealers still be looking at reports that are 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days old to see what their competition is doing in the market or what other models are hot in their market? Well, the good news is that J.D. Power has what they call PIN data that allows dealers to see sales by model and zip code in near real time. That's exciting, meaning to be able to see, if I'm a Chevy dealer, how many Chevys I sold per zip code and how many the competition did. But more importantly, in the zip codes I'm responsible for, my primary market area, what's the current top selling truck? What's the top selling SUV? And listen, how many units? What's their average gross? I mean, a lot of great information. So I want to take just a few minutes to jump into the lab and demonstrate to you what real-time J.D. Power PIN data can do for your business. And of course, I think you'll understand that once you have near real-time data, and the J.D. Power PIN data is anywhere from 24 to 48 hours old, there's time to process it. But let's just say it's the 15th of the month, and you're struggling, and you're not really sure what's happening in the marketplace. Well, to be able to go to real-time data, to look at your PMA, to see how you're doing versus your competitors of the same brand, and how you're doing versus competitors from other brands, that can give you some amazing insights to how to shift your marketing message or budget to be more competitive. I also want to show you in today's In the Lab session on how inspecting traditional media investments can give you additional real-time insights. I don't know if you've known this, but there's a company called Media Monitors, and they record every television commercial in your market and listen to every radio station in your market, specifically to listen for car commercials. That's right. And they provide reports that show an estimated spend of each dealer in the market on radio and television. But more importantly, the latest data shows how much they're spending per model. Wow. Think about this. To be able to have J.D. Power PIN data and I'm going to say near-time data based on the dealer sales and profits per vehicle. And then to have what they're spending on traditional marketing by model in your PMA. Do you understand that these real-time insights, updated daily, give you more granular approach to selling more cars in a digital age? Stop using outdated reports. Stop using reports that are 30, 60, and 90 days old. You need tactical tools to see what's working in your market, what your competitors are spending, so you can pivot, adjust, and make, well, concrete decisions on how to change the outcome before the end of the month. So let's take a moment to go into the lab and let me show you these latest innovations from J.D. Power and Media Monitors.
Okay, so we're in the lab and I'm in VistaDash, which is a automotive-specific business intelligence tool. And I want to show you the two data integrations that I was referring to on the show with a real dealer data set. So if I go to inventory, I can see the J.D. Power PIN data for this dealer in their local market. Notice what I can do. I can take a look at the DMA that the dealer is in and take a look at the total sales, average turn days, and gross profit in their market. I can also see the DMA purchase insights. You'll see finance, lease, service contract, average buyer age, and then I can take a look at DMA used vehicle insights, again, for that dealer's brand. Now, this dealer is a Ford dealer. Keep in mind that instead of reports being 30, 60, 90 days old, these data files are updated daily. And then competitive insights, you could see the other top selling models in the market, both by vehicle model and by brand. And again, taking a look at units, average turn days, average gross profit, it's all there. And then location insights, you can drill down and actually look at a map on the different sales data that applies to this dealer's local market. With J.D. Power PIN data, dealers can work in near real time to take a look at trends of their own brand, competitive brands, and then sales based on market location. And this is extremely important for dealers to understand how mid-month or on a weekly basis how they may want to adjust their marketing strategy. All right, so let's take a look at the radio and TV overlay and influence on website traffic. Under engagement, under radio and TV, we have this wonderful chart. Notice that the radio is in orange, the cable in gray, and the broadcast in purple. You can see these different spikes and then take a look at the different traffic patterns. So I can unclick direct, paid, referral, take a look at organic traffic trends. I can take a look at that for cable and broadcast, or I can take a look at it just for radio. You see, for the first time, overlaying these marketing dollars and then reflecting it to traffic on the dealer's website is super important. And then take a look. You can see the dealership spending and the specific campaign and number of impressions. Then you can click on competitors and see what your competitor is spending. Obviously, this is an anonymous account, so you'll be able to see the real names of the competitors, of course, and then brand insights as well, meaning you can see how much money is being spent on specific brands in the local market. Dealers who've had less than ideal data sources for sales data and influence on radio and television, now with real-time or near real-time insights can really start to work more effectively to sell more cars in a digital age. If you have any questions about the integration of J.D. Power PIN data and the Media Monitors data for radio and television, just reach out to Dan Moore, very easy, Dan at vista-.com, and he'll be able to answer all your questions regarding this exciting new development as dealers start to have more real-time data to run their business.
And now for today's email grab bag question. Marketing manager wrote in to ask, Brian, how do I separate my organic traffic into keyword-based searches and referrals from Google My Business? This is a great question. I've talked about this in the past. I've written about it in my books, but it's really important to know that when you look at your Google My Business traffic, you isolate that traffic in Google Analytics. Wow. You understand that Google My Business is a huge catch bucket for all your branding, all your traditional marketing, and it really is related also to your online reviews. Google My Business is the #1 source of conversions on a dealer's website. But you can't see that because it's mixed in with all other organic traffic. To me, I think Google My Business, when somebody clicks on the website button, is not organic. I think it's referral, but Google believes it's organic, and so it is, because it only shows when people do a keyword search, and when someone clicks on that website button, it's just another way to get to the dealer's website organically. The trick is very simple. You're just going to log into your Google My Business account, go down to the website URL, and put a UTM tag on the end of your web address. Now, this is what the UTM tag looks like, okay? This is what it looks like, and you can just follow that pattern, but it's very simple. Source is Google in lowercase. Medium is organic. And then for content, you can use two different types of tags. You could have website button, lowercase, or posts. Remember, Google Posts send traffic to your website. So by using a unique UTM tag on the website button and a unique UTM tag on your posts, not only will you be able to separate Google My Business traffic from other organic, but you'll be able to differentiate how many people are clicking on the website button versus clicking on a post. And today, Google Posts are relatively new, and it's be great to start seeing some data on the engagement level and quality of traffic generated by Google My Business posts. And of course, then the rest of the traffic will be identified as organic traffic, but you will have a campaign called Google My Business, and that campaign will allow you to break out your Google My Business referral traffic. When you do, wow, you'll see that for most dealers, if not all dealers, it's the #1 source of conversions, which means all of your marketing, all of your branding, all of your media investments are really driving people to do a search on your name. That's why dealers need to separate their paid search campaigns by branded and non-branded to really see the effectiveness of their AdWords investments. I hope this answered your question. And if you have a question, I use it on air, I'll send you a free copy of my latest book, Who Sold It? A complete discussion on automotive attribution to help dealers sell more cars in a digital age. Thank you so much for watching today's show, and I'll see you next week on Auto Marketing Now.
Thanks for watching Auto Marketing Now with Brian Pasch.